You cannot be black and British. You cannot be brown and British. You cannot be Jewish and British. You cannot be Muslim and British. To be British, you must be white. A passport does not change that. A monkey born in a stable is not a bleep horse. British is in the blood. I saw this tweet and just shook my head. So there are ongoing protests being carried out in different towns and cities all over the UK. So many hurtful words, racist comments have been made. Shops and properties of immigrants have been raided, burnt and destroyed over this past weekend. And these events have been so troubling that I feel like it's time to have a heart-to-heart talk with my fellow immigrants. So whether you are here in the UK or in another country, or whether you are still in your home country planning to move abroad, you need to watch this video so that you can take appropriate steps to safeguard yourself and your children's future. So where do I even start? My daughter just got her British passport, and although I'm very excited about it, but this past event had just made me realize that even though you were born in the UK or in that country that you are currently residing, that is not your home country, no matter how long you've lived there, no matter how long you've contributed to that country, there is going to be at least one person that will always remind you that you are not part of them. And it's high time we accept this fact and make a conscious effort to actually put things in order before it becomes too late. Now, when I first came into this country, I came straight to Northern Ireland. This was like almost 6 years ago now, and everybody was nice at that point. I remember that just walking along the road, I would see some people that they would just wave at me. My neighbors were very accommodating. They were curious to know where I came from, what the culture is, what the food are. Even my colleagues at work, like, they were so friendly and so accommodating, and it's just a shock for me now. Now, the reason for this video is not actually to like cast some shade on some people, because I know that even though with these events that have just happened, there are still some real Irish people, some real British people that don't really share the opinion of these people that are going about committing this racist acts and attacking immigrants and refugees. I know there are some Irish and British citizens that genuinely love you, and it doesn't matter where you are from, it doesn't matter the color of your skin. They take you as a human being, as if you are part of them as well. So I'm so sorry that this past event that is going on is just painting this picture on majority of British people that they hate immigrants and they want them out of the country. So anyway, that is not even the main purpose of this video. The main purpose of this video, like I said, is to have a heart-to-heart talk with my fellow immigrants. So guys, I think it's high time that we actually start intentionally making sure that our children don't forget where they are from. Even though they have the British passport or they have American passport, we need to teach them that, look, this is just a passport. Yes, it says that you are a citizen, but your real home, where you are from, where you have your roots, is not this country, it's in another country. Before I came to this country, I already discussed with my husband that, see, any child that we have in this country, whether they have British citizenship or they have whatever citizenship, that does not stop them from having a Nigerian passport. They have to go home. They have to know that this is where they are from. This is their family. This is their roots. This is their family home. This is how we talk. This is how we eat. This is how we dress. This is how we respect our elders. They have to learn those cultures at home. Now, I don't want this video to be all over the place, so let's just take it one step at a time. So for those of you that have been here for a long time, what exactly is your plan? Your children are already like adults in this country and you've never taken them back to your country. Like, what exactly is your plan? Are you planning to just let them forget where they are from? I know that there are some people that once they leave their country, they want to like cut ties with everything that is going on in that country. But with everything that is happening now, I hope it becomes an eye-opener for all of us, because right now I want us to like take some measures, take some steps intentionally to teach our children where they are from. So some of these steps that I'm going to suggest is that you should take your children home every single year. Now, I know it's not going to be easy because, you know, we work, the children, they go to school, but how about, even if it's not every year, how about to make it every 2 years? Like, You can take them home for Christmas this year, and then the next year you book holiday in whatever country, and then the upper year you take them home to your country. I'm from Nigeria, and going forward, I think this is something that I want to really adapt. I don't want to just show them pictures of where they are from or let them listen to the news about Nigeria. I want to really like take them home so that they will know exactly where they are from. Another thing that I would suggest is that you should teach your children your language. Now, I know that there are some people, in fact, me included, I'm guilty of this. I'm not very fluent in my language. I'm Urobo. I know a lot of people think I'm Igbo, but I'm not. I'm married to an Igbo man. I'm Urobo. And Urobos, I feel like they don't really speak Urobo at home like the way Igbos teach their children their language, and that is one thing that I really wish that I had learned. I can speak Urobo, but I'm not very fluent in Urobo. I understand everything you say in Urobo, don't get me wrong. If you are going to say anything Urobo, I understand it to the core. It's just that when we were growing up, we were not really communicating a lot in Urobo. We were talking in English. But now as an adult, I actually wish that we have spoken more of my native language at home instead of just speaking English. Come on, you go to school, you learn English in school, no problem about that. That's why now my husband, he's really teaching my 2-year-old Igbo. Like, he speaks Igbo to her at home. This is something that I really like. I will try my best to teach her Urobo the little I can. I will teach her and even try to like learn the language more. But for her, I want her to be really fluent in Igbo. Now, I really commend the Igbos and the Yorubas and the Hausas. Like, these people, they really teach their children their language. No matter the country they are in, you always hear a Yoruba child speak Yoruba at home. You always hear Igbo children speak Igbo at home. And this is something I feel like we should really start paying attention to, because guys, you don't know how frustrating it is when you are outside in the public and you want to say something to your child, but you don't want the other person close to you to hear, and you cannot say that in your language. Like, it's so frustrating. The good thing is that we have a common language in Nigeria, which is Pidgin English. And if I want to say something to another black man and I don't want this Oyibo to hear, I will just switch to Pidgin English. So it's good that I can converse with my fellow man and I don't have to worry that this other person is listening to what I am saying. Now, there are ways for you to actually go about teaching your children your language. You can buy games for them. You can play cartoons for them that are in your native language. Even though they are young right now, you feel like, oh, they don't even understand what I'm saying. But see, let me tell you guys that these children, no matter how young they are, they know when something is important. So if you keep on teaching them this thing, like saying this thing in your language, and you want them to know it, they will pay attention and they will learn it. When they go to school, they can start speaking English. But when you're at home, I would say from now on, start speaking your language to your children. Now, another thing is that you should teach them your culture, your tradition, your food. I am so amazed when I see black people here and they don't cook African food at home. Like, guys, come on. You grew up eating eba and ogbolo soup and egusi soup and ewedu, and what are you doing? You're cooking mashed potato. You're saying, oh, my child is not going to eat it. They eat mashed potato in school, so she's not going to eat this African food. She doesn't like the taste of African food. Should you not be ashamed saying that? An African child cannot eat African food. See, guys, this is where you need to start training them from young, like catch them young. If you start cooking those soups at home, there is no way that as they are growing up, they will just automatically say, oh, I don't like eating this food anymore. I want to eat this foreign food. Now, it's good that you should actually introduce your children to different types of food from different cultures, different textures, but don't neglect your own traditional food. Don't neglect your own culture. If you use hand to eat eba, I don't see why you should not start teaching your children to use fork and knife to eat the same eba. Now, I know that some people will say, actually you should eat eba with fork and knife, but come on. Eba is sweeter when you use your hand to eat it. If you don't know that now and have peace. You need to teach your children the values of an African home. Can't you guys see the Indians? Can't you guys see the Asians? See the way they train their children. Even though they've lived in US or they've lived in UK for a long time, an Indian child will always remain an Indian child to the core. Why are we Africans so last with our children? Like, why do we let them just do whatever they want to do just because they are in a new environment? Why? An African child will wake up in the morning and not greet the parents, and you think that is okay? An African child will wake up and not know that they are supposed to do the dishes, they are supposed to sweep the house, and you think that is okay because you are what? You are abroad. When you were growing up, is that how they trained you? Now, I want you guys to like put yourself in this mental frame. The way you are raising your children now, if you were raised in that manner, do you think you would have become the man and the woman that you are today? This is something that I feel like a lot of people, they lose track of. When they move to another country, they feel like, oh, I'm in Rome now, so I have to behave like the Romans. Yes, behave like the Romans when you are outside, but when you are inside your house, you have to behave like the African that you are, because that is your identity, that is your value, that is your culture, that is what you are going to pass from your generation to another generation. Don't let your children get lost in another man's culture and tradition. Now, talking about culture, let's also talk about the native attires. Now, I know that getting native attires abroad is actually very expensive, but you could actually sew them in bulk from Nigeria, and then when somebody from Nigeria is coming to visit, they can bring those clothes for you. And you can also learn how to sew, like learn how to make your African clothes for your children. You guys would have probably encountered a scenario where you take your child to church dressed in native attires, and then everybody's asking you, oh, this is so lovely, where did you get it from, where did you make it, can you make one for me? Guys, your native attires are actually beautiful. If you don't know now, they are beautiful. Don't say because you are abroad for 10 years so you don't have one single native attire. Come on, come on, go and buy sewing machine and sew something. Even if you want to like wear this jacket, trouser, you can use Ankara to sew jackets and trouser as well. Don't you know that? You can dress yourself, wear tie gele, and go to church, and you will see that a lot of people will be admiring your attire. Anyway, that is one way to promote your values and traditions to your children. Now, another thing, and this is very, very important because I am a little bit guilty of this. So my daughter has a British passport right now, but she does not have a Nigerian passport. She does not have a Nigerian passport because she is 2 years old now and she has never been to Nigeria. So I didn't see any need for her to get a Nigerian passport yet. But now that she has gotten her British passport, I tell you that I am going to get her a Nigerian passport ASAP because she is Nigerian first before she is British. It's good that they have a British passport or an American passport, but you see that Nigerian passport, you see that Ghanaian passport, it is not an option, it is a priority. I don't care if you say the government is bad and what is the government going to give to the children, or what are they going to benefit from being in Nigeria. Let me hear that again. What are they going to benefit? How does it sound when a Nigerian child does not have a Nigerian passport? And then when you want to go home on holidays, you have to now start applying for visa for your Nigerian child. Oh my god, that is unheard of. That is unheard of. So guys, if you are like me and for one reason or the other, you have been putting off getting a Nigerian passport for your child born abroad, run, make an appointment to get a Nigerian passport. And to that effect, if you are in Northern Ireland, I have a family friend that is into the NIN. So if you are looking for where to do your NIN registration for your child or for you yourself, hit me up. In fact, I'm going to put the contact details in the screen here so you can ring that number and book your NIN registration. And another thing I should say here is that even though you live in the outskirts of Northern Ireland and you feel like there's nobody around you to do your NIN registration, this guy is willing to travel down to wherever you are in Northern Ireland to do your capturing. So distance is not a barrier anymore. Register for your NIN registration and get a Nigerian passport for your children. It's just so unfortunate that our government back home is not even helping matters. But what can you do? You cannot throw away the bathwater with the babies. So the responsibility is now on us to like invest back in our country. I know that there is some tribal nonsense in Nigeria. I have been denied a job before because apparently my last name sounds like Igbo, and the job that they were advertising was for Yorubas. So I was denied a job as a nurse, a government job for that matter. So I know very well things that happens back in our country. But when you are in another man's country, I feel like we should come together, be our brother's keeper. Even though we have like some fights, minor fights back in our country, don't let it show when you are outside the country. Like, what you project to the outside world is how they will judge you. It's how they will look at you. Nigerians, I am a Nigerian, so I know this for a fact. Nigerians are so quick to rush online to say negative things about their country. Nigeria is this, Nigeria is bad, poverty, security. Now, none of that is a lie. All of them are true, or most of them are true. But you don't have to come online and start saying everything, forgetting that people from different countries are actually watching and seeing and reading everything that you are putting online about your country. If you paint your country bad, why do you expect someone else that is not from that country, someone else that does not even know what is going on in that country, to treat you good? The way you think that all Nigerians are criminals, that is the way other people will look at you. So please, I'm begging us, Nigerians, please, let's mind what we put online. Let's mind the way we talk about our country. Let's mind the way we treat our fellow man and fellow woman. Please, don't walk and slave away in another man's country without investing in your own country. No matter how much you work, no matter how much money you contribute as taxes, you know, these people are so quick to forget that immigrants have really helped them a lot. Do you guys remember during COVID time? Do you remember how many of your British and Irish colleagues were scared to go to work? They did not go to work, but how many immigrants cancelled their shifts because of COVID? Even when they are sick, they still go to work. Even when it's not convenient for them to go to work, we still try to go to work. We still try to make sure that we don't call in sick. I've been seeing so many news articles, oh, they are taking away our jobs, they're taking away which jobs? Tell me, taking away which jobs?
Some foreigners that are coming over and taking our jobs, yeah, and not even working. And they're working.
Why do they take our jobs if they're not working?
Because they do it. They do it. Simple as that.
Before those jobs will be advertised, before a foreigner will be given those jobs, that same job would have been advertised in the country and nobody would have applied for the job. It is after then that they will now say, okay, let's look for someone else to come and do this job. So when I hear those people say they're taking away our jobs, I just shake my head and I'm like, really? Really? And then the other people will say, go back to your country, go back. Why do you even think that you're 100% British? You need to go back and read your history. Go back and know how this UK became UK.
So if you're shouting you want your country back from the immigrants, you need to understand that this country is built by immigrants. The Saxons, the Vikings, the Celts, all immigrants. They built this country. So your argument really isn't it's our country, it's who's been here the longest. And if we're going to get into that debate, have a look into the Cheddar Man, one of the oldest found human inhabitants of this island, a hunter-gatherer. He had brown skin. So if you're getting into who's been here the longest, it's going to get a bit sticky for you.
Now, I don't want to digress too much. Let me just go back to what I was saying. Remember, guys, that you need to take care of yourself. Yes, it's good to work and make money, but that money that you are working, invest it back in your home country. This is something that I have to start doing right now. I have to think of ways to invest back in Nigeria, and I hope that every one of us watching this video will start considering doing the same as well. During this protest, I was hearing, oh, they are using our money to pay for hotels for refugees. Which money? Do you know that immigrants actually work more than British citizens. Immigrants are the ones that are actually doing the hard labor. They are the highly skilled people in this country. Immigrants. We work, we pay taxes, and these taxes are what is being used for your public funds. These taxes are what are paying your benefits. But we don't say anything about this. And another thing that they are even saying is that, oh, they are not against people that are here legally. They are only against illegal migrants. Those shops that were destroyed, did they belong to illegal migrants? No. That person that you attacked because of the color of their skin, was that person an illegal migrant? No. So what exactly are you talking about? Anyway, I don't want this video to turn into something else. I don't want this video to be misinterpreted. So I'm just going to say this. If I stepped on your toes by making this video, if there is something I said that you are angry about, I apologize in advance. This video is just a heart-to-heart talk with my fellow migrants. Una when get here, make una here. E don reach time when we go put eye for ground. Make we dey wise, dey smart. Not be say you go work 100 hours for this country, come think say this country don become your own. Not be your country. Your country na where you come from, gone. Say you dey this country today, say you don dey stay here for like the past 10 years, not mean say if wahala, say if gbege happen now, say they no go deny you. Say you get British passport, you wan show say, oh, I don dey here, I be part of them. Make I tell you, even people when you feel say be your own close padi, say they no even care, say you be from another country, if e reach time say make dem choose, not shock say those people go fit do something when go shock you, when you go feel say, ah, I don't know say this person get that kind thing for mind before. Now make I say make we have heart-to-heart talk. So anyway, if you are watching this video and you are just seeing my face for the first time, hello, my name is Scholastica. This is what I do. I'm going to go home now, okay? Stay safe, stay wise, be blessed. I love you guys. Until next video, stay fabulous. Bye. Mwah.